Hi, everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Here we are. It's been 2 long weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like forever
Right.
since we spoke to everybody online.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have had an eventful 2 weeks. We have, since we are cruising over Christmas, we've been doing Christmas across Ontario with all the family.
All right. And, squeezing in some medical appointments prior to that too. So it's been busy the last few weeks for
Some
us.
medical issues came up, bit of a health scare for me. Might impact the cruise coming up as far as what I can do. And I don't know if you can tell Mrs. Canuck's voice is off a little bit. She had laryngitis and couldn't even talk last weekend. So lucky we didn't have a live because she couldn't talk anyways.
I went 5 days without saying anything. It's the longest I've ever been silent in my life. But yeah, it's coming back, but it's still a little croaky. But yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't wrong for 5 days straight. Everything I said was perfect, I guess.
Yeah. For sure. Everybody thought it was my Christmas gift to Mr. Canuck, me losing my voice. He didn't have to hear me speak for 5 days. But I think he would even agree that after a couple of days it got old. He was like, "Can you just tell me something?" And I couldn't speak at all. Yeah. Yeah,
but we're a little pumped up tonight because
we are.
Not because it's Christmas necessarily, but because we are looking at 6 days, 20 hours until we get on our next cruise.
Right.
So
yes.
We can't wait. And we'll talk a little bit about that tonight, of course.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how that's going to impact the live schedule. I think we've got a plan to possibly be live from California. Never happened before, but we're going to give it a try.
Yeah, we haven't done it before.
And what else we had to talk about? Norwegian Epic and our Norwegian thoughts that we've had. We've had a lot of comments from people.
For sure.
And so we'll talk a bit about that tonight, plus take all of your questions tonight. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the excitement. So let's go over and see who's online. So a few people are on early. So see if I remember how to do this. So we've got Peter in, our stalker from England.
Hi, Peter. Welcome. It's commitment staying up as late as you do to watch us.
Yes, and he was loving our, now I'm going to not be able to pronounce that properly.
Yeah.
I understand that's how the Italians say Florence, so I recognize it, but don't make me say it. We embarrassed ourselves enough with the language.
We butchered enough other cultural languages for sure. We had a lovely time in Florence, so I'm glad that you guys could appreciate that vlog. We had a few comments of people saying that it brought tears to their eyes, and it's so funny because as Mr. Canuck showed it to me, the edited version before it aired, I had tears in my eyes. I looked over at him. Yep. So did he. It was just probably one of the most perfect days.
Yeah, for sure.
So we loved it. We had a great time there, and Florence is a magical place, and we definitely want to return.
Yeah, and watching Florence back in the final vlog that we all saw this weekend, it kind of reminded me why we vlog, right?
Right.
We do it not only for showing all you cruising in the world, but to do it for ourselves, to have a record of what happens in our lives and what it means to us, right? So kind of got me choked up, and it was something special to kind of see that come out, that's what we wanted, was a keepsake for the rest of our life.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we do it.
Yeah. And James and Kimmy Gatter on from California.
Good evening, guys.
We're going to be in your state real soon.
We are. Yeah. We can't wait. We get to leave snow. Now, in saying that, we have the least amount of snow we normally ever do at this time of year. Yeah. But we do have a little bit of it. But we're happy to get on an airplane in a few days and fly away from the snow.
Yeah. Putting the rest of the 49ers game on hold. So hopefully they're winning.
Yeah.
We were watching a bit of football this afternoon, as you do when you do weekend Christmases with family this time of year. There's usually a football game somewhere. So I think we're watching Philadelphia beat up New York. I think they're playing today. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's our comment.
That's your comment you put in earlier.
Hi, Cruising Canucks. How are you doing tonight? Cindy's in here. Wish it gets live, but timing doesn't work for me. Catch tomorrow.
She's going to catch it up. Yep. No problem.
It'll be recorded. So, and Greg is on as well from Oregon. And love Florence video as well. Hope you have a good cruise. Can't wait to be able to cruise too. Yeah. Oh, we're hoping to have a good cruise too. Yeah. We're back with Carnival, which might kind of confuse some people because you know how much we love Holland America. You know how much we were impressed by Norwegian. Mm-hmm. We had these Holland America booked way back.
Holland America. Carnival.
Right in the middle of COVID, when there was some really good rates being offered and perks on the drink package, and we couldn't turn it down.
Right.
So we're going to give Carnival 2 more shots, 2 more cruises.
We have 2 more cruises.
And see how it goes. So we'll show you all that. And it's a little bit different how we're doing it. We'll explain that later. I guess we won't go into the weeds yet. Yeah. And Bruce and Tawny almost home from New Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we have a couple other folks that are on our Facebook group and on here sometimes that are on
No, I think they're on New Sundown. Who you're talking
I think so.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
New Amsterdam.
No, I'm pretty sure New Sundown they're on today. Yeah,
but yeah, no, it's amazing to see all of you out cruising, and I'm so excited for us to get back cruising because we've been getting jealous every time we read about everyone else cruising in December,
all the beautiful
November.
pictures people have been posting on Facebook.
Yeah, we love the pictures, but just makes us just dying to get back on a ship, right?
For sure.
So can't wait to those first steps on the ship in 7 days from today. Yes, we'll be just finishing main dining room in 7 days. Yeah, I don't think we're doing the steakhouse. Peter, leaving on the 18th, you don't return until after New Year's. We try to do a live show from the ship during your holiday. So we were going to talk about this. So I guess we'll update this now.
Oh, sorry.
Since we're here.
Hit everything as I moved.
But what the plan is we have a break in between 2 Carnival cruises. We have a full day before the next cruise begins. So it's not really a back-to-back or even a side-by-side or whatever you call it. It's kind of I don't know. It's nearby. But that day that we get off the ship, off the Miracle, we're hoping to do a live from the hotel that night. That'll be December 23rd. It's a Friday night, not a Sunday. So
yeah, so we know most people will probably be busy with family and holidays, but we thought we would put something out there, just talk about our first cruise and as we're transitioning into the second one. So yeah, we'll
update you on how the first one went. But in the middle of all that, though, Peter, we're going to be also doing hopefully some lives. We have the internet available. We've bought a SIM card for our phone. We've got hopefully enough data to be able to do some things. So what we usually do is on Instagram, we usually do our lives when we're right on the ship. So Instagram will be live feeds as far as pictures, hopefully some live stuff as we're walking around the ship or sailaways and all those type of fun things. And then we'll get back and do a YouTube live when we're back at the hotel, December 23rd. So we'll try to put that date somewhere so everybody,
put it out.
Yeah, maybe even the comments below, or we'll send something out through YouTube. Yeah. So, and Ghislaine Desjardins is here, counting down to her January cruise.
Nice.
Yes. Getting away from Elliott Lake in January is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Although, if you're like us, not a lot of snow yet. So
you're doing well.
Hope it continues this way. Yeah. And good evening from LuTube.
Good evening.
And everyone else. So let me scroll down a bit.
Oh, Frank from Brampton. It always throws me off when I see the Sioux Greyhound logo for Frank, though, because I think he needs to be in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, you're in the wrong spot, Frank. There must be some history there with Frank. And
are you originally from the Sioux, Frank?
Yeah. Interesting. And Greg having knee surgery, so he's not going anywhere to the Alaska cruise next summer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
that'll be a recovery for sure for that. Well, I hope it all goes well for you, Greg. Sure.
Yeah, health issues are no joke for sure. It's really especially as you get older, it becomes more of a challenge. So yeah, my little bit of a scare. I'm not sure what we'll be doing yet on our cruise. Maybe a few things I may not be able to do until the doctor gives me some clearance, but we'll figure that out. Been trying to do all the right things for the last few weeks so I can do some of the wrong things on the cruise. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And Tanya's here. Hope we're all doing well. Yep, we're doing well now. The last couple of weeks were a little rough, but we're on the mend now. Yep. And Brenda's here saying hello to everybody.
Hi, Brenda.
And we have Abby. What's your next cruise? So it is a week today, Carnival Miracle. And there's some history there. So what was I saying today? 16 years ago.
We did our very first cruise together.
This coming holiday season, we did our first cruise together on the Carnival Paradise out of Los Angeles, Long Beach.
Long Beach, yeah.
And it was a 4-day, but we're doing a 5-day, and it's on the Carnival Miracle, which is similar size ship. So we're kind of going back home to the roots of how we got addicted to what we're doing all the time. So it'll be interesting 16 years later to see how it all feels. And we've got a full day in Los Angeles before that, so we're going to do a full pre-cruise vlog on what we're doing in LA. We've been trying to make some plans there. Yeah. And we love California, so very excited about going back.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We did California, I think maybe 3 years in a row. We traveled back and forth to California, and then we just started going everywhere else. So it's time to go back to California because we do love that state.
Time for California. Just don't get too cold and rainy when we're there. That's all we're saying. We always had good luck with weather in California, except one time in San Francisco. But
I started packing today, everyone, ladies, and so far I just packed dresses, but I feel like I might need to put in some pants.
Started packing today, ladies. Does that mean the men don't ever pack?
No, I'm sure most men do, but I was talking to the ladies about can I get away with dresses in California with the weather? I feel like I probably might need some pants, maybe even some capris or something. I don't know. I don't tend to travel with that, but I might have to because the forecast is probably not as warm as I would hope it would be.
Yeah, it looks like 60-ish in California. We get there next weekend, but we'll see. That could change. Gary's here from Burlington.
Hi, Gary. Yeah.
And Scott is here. Merry Christmas, Scott.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, we were going to do a kind of a Christmas thing tonight and say Merry Christmas, but we might be on right before Christmas. So yeah, but hopefully everybody's getting their shopping done, getting some plans with some family. Yeah, so like I said, we've been doing all that stuff ahead of Christmas, knowing we're going to miss it with the main event. So, yep, with our work schedules, and luckily we have adult children that are doing their things with their significant others that we're able to sneak away. So, and Carnival does Christmas really well.
Yes,
it really well. As much as we've seen some changes over the years, they really do Christmas really well.
Well, we hope they do. It's been a while since we've done Christmas.
Hopefully there wasn't any cutbacks for Christmas.
We have enjoyed our Christmas cruises with them in the past.
Brenda's saying, hit the thumbs up button. Thanks, Brenda, for the reminder. We always forget that YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And Sherry's here. Dawn and Sherry from just outside of Paris, Ontario.
Nice.
And Chad and Matthew Cruz are here. Snow sounds nice right now.
We're never happy with what we have, eh? Yeah.
There's...
I guess it is Christmassy. Yeah, and I do appreciate a little bit of snow around Christmas time. It's just I wish that it melted a little bit faster where we live than it does, because I know that it's going to be with us till Easter generally.
There are people that do like house swapping and stuff. Maybe Chad and Matthew need to come live at our place in wintertime.
In February.
We'll trade.
Come here for the month of February.
Oh, and hello from Midland, Michigan.
Neighbor.
Yes,
Neighbors.
we will be flying out of Michigan this weekend, I guess. Yep. And we're going to be going from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan down to Detroit and then off to Los Angeles is the plan. If Delta doesn't change it again. They've changed it several times.
A lot of our itineraries. It's been a lot of emails saying we've had a change in our flight. So we're crossing everything that it all works out for us.
The plane looks packed. Couldn't even get an upgrade. So, and Cindy says hi from snowy Massachusetts.
Oh, they've got snow in Massachusetts. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully if the East Coast is getting it, then the West Coast where we're going is going to be in good shape. And Gary is jealous. He's jealous of you too.
Thanks.
Oh, I like the little tux there in your picture there, Gary.
Yeah,
Mrs.
nice.
Canuck has been chasing me for years to get a tux.
I keep telling him, I think this might be the year he needs a tux.
Let's see. Jim's here, and we're watching your recent cruise vlogs from Italy, the Norwegian Epic. That's a place on my list to visit for the next few years. Thanks so much for the vlogs. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been doing the vlogging and doing the editing gives us a chance to almost relive the cruise a second time over. And we've been doing that as we go through all these different videos, and the Mediterranean was just phenomenal. And we've got a few more to go, and they're going to likely come out through the Christmas period as we're cruising. The last few should come out if I can get the editing done this week before we fly away. So lots of work to do to get them all out and done on time, but that's the plan. So then when those are done, we get back in the new year. Then we'll get these ones out that we're going to be filming in the next couple of weeks.
But the Mediterranean is a beautiful place to cruise out of. It is just, it's gorgeous for sure. We had a wonderful time.
Yeah, you can't see everything with enough time you want to see it for, but at least you get a sample of it all and get a feel for the beauty and what's there and what you want to go back and see. So cruising is a nice sampler of it all, but there's some spots I'd like to go back and spend a lot more time than we did. Scott, just cruising the Connings Dam. That's right. I remember seeing.
Yeah, we saw pictures.
Nice. And thanks for the tips of Cabana Life. Fabulous trip. Fantastic new friends. Good
Cabana Life is the way to go, isn't it, Scott?
Yep.
I just can't say Holland America does that perfectly. It's affordable, yet you feel special and spoiled at the whole time. It is a lovely perk that they offer for sure.
Cruising Cabana Canucks. Change your name.
Yeah, right.
We have a cabana coming up, but not till March on the New Amsterdam. And a poolside cabana. So I know a lot of you are doing the retreat cabanas. We're going to show you what a poolside cabana is like on one of those ships.
Right. It's a little busier maybe, but a lot of fun. We enjoy it for sure.
And Chad and Matthew we just booked Alaska 24 and asking Scott, how do you like the ship? Yeah, we're curious too, because we're booked on the Koningsdam in July of this year.
Right. But I do believe it's it's the pinnacle class of the New Amsterdam, right?
Nope. Same as the new Statendam.
Oh, the new Statendam. Oh, sorry. Okay.
And so then the same as the Rotterdam, just without the upgrades of the Rotterdam. Same class. Yep.
Yeah, new
Statendam,
okay,
Rotterdam.
Sorry. I thought you said Amsterdam. Sorry, I got all mixed up in my head.
Amsterdam and Eurodam are the same class.
Yeah.
Peter's got a question. When do you back-to-back cruise? How do you do laundry? Well, we're lucky on this back-to-back with Carnival. We've cruised with them over 20 times, and we are platinum.
Right.
So we get free laundry on board.
Right.
There's a limit to it, but we've never been able to get close to
the limit. I think it's like 5 bags per person on a 7-day cruise or something crazy like that. So yeah, we have no problem when we're traveling with Carnival. And so also Princess has laundry facilities, like a laundromat on the ship that you can go and just
each floor usually.
You can just swipe your card and do your own laundry. Holland America does a bag service and different laundry type things like that. You can pay per the bag, or you can pay for a flat rate to do as much laundry as you want. So depending on the cruise line, is the answer to that question as to what we do. But I tend to pack a lot, so laundry is not usually a big issue because I probably bring more than enough clothes, right?
Yeah. We were doing the dreaded packing. Yesterday was try-on day. As some of you might know, is one of my favorite days of cruising.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as packing up to go home. But survived successfully. Weren't shocked too much. So everything's in a suitcase or close to a suitcase now, from my understanding.
From your understanding, you don't really know, do you?
No.
You have no clue.
My responsibility is done at this point. The clothes have been passed on, and my next job is the batteries, the tech, all the fun
That's
stuff,
right.
the
Mr.
vlogging stuff.
Packs all the electronics, and I pack all the functional things: clothes, shoes, cosmetics, those sort of things.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we have all the basic stuff packed right now.
Yeah. But the vlogging stuff, it wouldn't matter what we wear. So that's how important it is.
Well, you kind of do need some clothes, whether you're vlogging or not.
It's a different type of vlog.
Different type of cruise.
The bare essentials cruise.
Yeah.
Which has not been on the Miracle as far as I know. So you're safe to lay in the lounge chairs there.
Yeah, we were literally years ago. This is a funny story. Years ago, we were looking at booking a cruise, and we found out that the week prior to the week we were planning on booking on it, it was going to be a bare essential. We didn't book that ship. I said, there's not enough sanitizer to clean all those chairs for me to sit on them.
I'm not sure if you all know what the bare essential cruise is, but it is clothing
optional cruise.
Which would be really awkward for the crew, I would have to imagine. So I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole, but it's a free-for-all tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
And Dawn is saying we had a great first week on the new Stottendam. We tested positive for COVID. Oh no, the day before the first week ended, so we decided to leave early. We have to isolate the cabin until the next test.
Oh,
that's too bad.
Sorry, Dawn.
So I wonder if you're able to get a credit back in that situation or how that works.
Right.
Yep. And we keep looking and seeing there's no new changes in regulations. In fact, Carnival just sent us an email tonight and said, here's what's going on. So some places are requiring vaccinations like Grand Turks, but most places are no testing, no vaccinations. So it's kind of cruise at your own risk at this point.
A piece of hair hanging out here.
You need a brush?
Yeah, I do. My hair is a little wonky tonight.
Second, let me call wardrobe in.
Yeah. That's it.
One day.
Yeah.
Frank has an answer for your Greyhounds logo there. He was born and raised in the Sioux.
Okay.
So there we go.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Okay.
Frank would know about Pino's, my favorite grocery store.
Yeah.
It and Rome's are really tight, though. The two are like nice fresh food and fresh produce and fresh meats. Yeah.
Yeah, we go from one to the other.
We bounce between Rome's and Pino's, so yeah.
Well, I would say you might, I don't know. I definitely more Rome's myself. But, that's where I do all my shopping.
Yeah. Pinot sausage.
Yeah, right. That's what you like. Yeah.
But Gary is up next. Can I pass on some info about the Canadian passport renewal? Can I pass on some? Sure, Gary.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
We'll see.
We'll check below and see. But
yeah.
we just check on our passports. We only have a couple years left. It feels like we just renewed them, but we're getting close. Yeah,
we just renewed our Nexus cards this year.
Yeah, Nexus cards went smooth, but passports are within a couple of years now. It feels,
wow.
We had them for 10 years, and they're already having to be done. So that time flies when you're having fun cruising, right? Just found you guys' channel. I'm going on my first cruise in a week from today. Wow, same as us. Maybe you're on the same cruise.
Love your ship tours and the vlogs. Thanks,
Thank
Abby.
you very much. Yeah, thanks, Abby. And
what ship are you going on?
Yeah, we're on the Carnival Miracle. If you're just joining, but yeah, that's exciting. First cruise though.
Yeah,
that's kind of ironic, right? Because that'd be funny if she was on the same ship, right? Because we're going back to where our first cruise ever was, and Abby's doing her first cruise. So it's tough the first cruise because everything gets compared to that. So if you have a great experience, everyone after that's like, oh, no, sure, but it takes a while. Yeah, not for you. Everyone's better than the one before.
Yeah, my favorite one's always the last one I just got off of. That I've heard that saying a few times. Sometimes I can agree with that. Yeah.
Big J 33 from Southern California, SoCal.
18 days till their New Year's cruise.
Oh,
nice.
There you go. So you'll probably be cruising or getting on a cruise right around when we are leaving Southern California.
Oh, yeah.
So we're leaving New Year's Day to come home to Canada. So you'll be heading out on the conning stamp somewhere in and around there. So I think you go out of a different port, right? They go out of, I've lost it now. It's not Long Beach. It's the other one. It's the one the original Love Boat went out of. Anyways, we'll go on. And Dawn?
Finally tested positive past Friday.
Negative.
Or negative, sorry. This past Friday. So we would have to isolate in our cabin the whole week. Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, that would have been a long haul for sure.
That seems
I think
to be,
you made the better call.
Seems to be a trend that people seem to either like have symptoms and never seem to test positive and you're not sure if you have it, or they test positive long after symptoms have gone away. I've heard both sides lately with some of the different things going around.
Yeah, when I had it back in April, I was feeling fine a few days later, but I still tested positive for a whole week later.
And Dawn, I'm just wondering, so did you go to medical on Carnival? Did they flag? Like, how does that work? I'm not sure.
How do you know she was on Carnival?
Oh, well, yeah, maybe not Carnival, but on the ship. I mean, yeah. Curious. And we have July journeys here from Hamilton, Ontario. Looking forward to cruising again December 27th.
Oh,
coming up fast too.
11 nights on New Staten.
So you'll be doing New Year's there too as well.
Nice.
New Staten. We did New Staten New Year's. They were a really big deck party around the pool.
Yeah.
We did it when COVID was just ending, so we kind of stayed up in the top level. We didn't get down.
We were 2 decks above the pool, staying off our side because we didn't want to test positive for COVID. Because at that point, you weren't allowed back in Canada if you did have that.
Yeah, but the deck party going on down below looked like it was a blast. Even the captain was out, yelling in the mic, party, and it was quite.
It was fun time for sure.
So yeah, it was a good time on the New Staten for New Year's. Yep. So 11 days. That'll be exciting.
Nice.
And LuTube, we just renewed our Canadian passport. Took 7 days. Wow, that's really good.
So it's funny you say that, Gary, because I was just going to say when the passport question came up, I had a few people at work saying they just renewed their passport. And for one of my coworkers at work, they just got a new one for their teenage daughter, the first one ever. And it was the same sort of thing. They were like, we were told it was going to be weeks and months, and it ended up being a week. So that's great. Yeah, that's good news for everybody. I hope the next cards start to do that, because we've had some people saying they've been on a waiting list to get their first Nexus card. They've waited over a year for an appointment.
For sure. And Sherry says, glad we showed the Epic. The bathroom setup and the sink in the bedroom is a big no-go. I would say that I would do the Epic again if we could get the single supplement fare waived and we each have our own rooms. We could have even adjoining rooms.
True enough. I would agree for that. I would go for that. Yeah.
One room could be the bathroom room, and the other room could be the living room.
Oh,
I don't know.
I loved everything about that ship except for that bathroom in the cabin. For sure. Yeah. And I do think it would be better if, like we had said in one of the vlogs, that when we originally booked the room, we had booked a different room than where they had upgraded us. But the room we had booked, the bed was closer to the balcony and not right next to the bathroom. So if the sofa was there and the wardrobe was there, it wouldn't be so intrusive, I think. So if we ever did book the Epic again, I would make sure that we had a room where the couch was closest to the washroom facilities and that we stayed with that room.
And our understanding from what we were told on the Epic is that it's coming back over to North America to the Caribbean this winter.
It's out of Puerto Rico right now.
Out of Puerto Rico, then going back over to Europe this coming summer, and we'll be staying in Europe and not coming back.
Permanently, we'll be cruising out of Europe year round.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I'm not sure if we'll have a chance to do the Epic or not. Although it was so nice, I'd be tempted almost to put up the room. I don't know if the price was right. Yeah. Tanya, I like your photo. Hello.
Yeah, that's very cute.
I think goats are pretty neat.
Oh, he's really been fascinated with goats lately, everybody. He's watching a lot of YouTube videos on goats.
They get scared.
And then he sends them to our children. Watch this.
Yeah, I had a laugh thinking of goats. July's journey, we did Southern California, New Staten last month. Hope you had a great time. Oh, I like when people talk.
Yeah.
Rumor horror stories about trying to get appointments for passport renewal. We decided mail ours, received them back in less than 3 weeks. Wow, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
We usually mail ours too. Once we did it in person because we were in a panic, but yeah.
Yeah, well, one time we didn't realize, but if our passport expires within 6 months of being on the cruise, they're not going to let you get on the cruise. And we found that out around a week before we were leaving to go on a cruise. And I think we only had 5 months or 5.5 months before the expiry of our passport. So Mr. Canuck had to drive 8 hours to Toronto from where we live to renew our passport in that day and get it back so that we could leave on our trip in a few days. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which
is why we did the 10-year renewal, not to worry about that. So, but it's coming up in 2 years, yeah. James and Kimmy Cat saying San Fran is cold and foggy. It's kind of like that when we were there. LA will probably be okay. Just take some cozy dresses.
Cozy dresses, yeah.
I don't have.
And a wrap. Yeah, I was looking at wraps today thinking, it might be a good excuse to buy a few newer wraps because I'm kind of in need for that. But yes, I did pack a few long sleeve dresses, but we'll see.
Sorry. I was just thinking about something funny about me not having any dresses, but
okay.
We're not going there.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I just was reading it. Also, they're saying Delta changed their cruise or their flight as well.
Yeah, and it'll probably change 3 or 4 more times as you get closer to February, if it's anything like our experience. Like I would say 6 times we've had. I don't know.
It's so frustrating. You book a flight, you pay lots of money for it, you pick the exact time, exact places you want to go, the exact connections to get it just the way you want it, and then they change it all and mess it all up, and all you get is transfer or pay more money.
And it's very difficult when you're dealing with a tight timeline with work and schedule.
Yep. And Kim Cam, hello, loving the epic videos. We'll be on a repositioning cruise, San Juan to New York. Was the Spice to open? So here's what we've learned, thanks to all of you out on YouTube and our Facebook group.
No, wasn't open when we were on it.
Wasn't open when we were on it. I understand
very upset about that.
It is open now. Okay. Understand the problem had something to do with the funnel, the smoke coming out, that there was a problem with something that with some kind of pollution or debris or something was drifting back into the adults only area. And so they shut it down when they were working on that problem. And I've heard now that's fixed and it's open again. So we were just really unlucky. But my understanding is it wasn't for renovations or any other reason other than they're trying to get that issue figured out. So, and I heard that from one source, but it's the only thing that seems to make sense because we didn't.
It does make sense. We saw it because we were told the email they sent us said it was due to construction. There was no construction going on. They weren't renovating or doing anything. So it must have been a maintenance thing like that. And they had to do something with the smokestack.
And
would you book it again? Yeah, we would, but because we did love the ship.
Yeah, it's funny because from the outside, it's not a good looking ship.
That's what a bunch of men keep saying that. I don't know. I keep looking at the ship going, it looks like a ship. I don't know.
It's got this
but
square
we've had
front.
a lot of men comment that, and you've been saying that forever too. I don't know. I don't understand what the outside of the ship has to do with it. Like, it looks like a ship to me.
Looks like it's
frowning.
But
the interior of the ship is beautiful. The staff was wonderful. The food was wonderful. And so, yes, I would book the bathroom. I would book the cruise again, but try to make sure my sofa's the closest thing to the bathroom and not the couch and not the bed this time.
And I think I could go to the main dining room every single night and not feel like I didn't have a wonderful meal.
Right.
That which is hard to say on a cruise these days. That's where, especially for Norwegian, that's really thrived on the specialty restaurant options over the years. That they've done that. The dining room is special.
Yeah, what they're doing in their main dining room is great.
So yeah, I think we'd do it again.
Yeah,
as much as the bathroom is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave us motivation not to spend much time in the room. For sure.
That's true.
And don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Thumbs up. Hopefully no thumbs downs. And you piqued our interest in Norwegian, Chad and Matthew Cruise. And other goat tracks, distracting when you're on the Lido deck. So
okay, so the ship we were on didn't have that.
Yeah, and we haven't been on one that has the go-kart tracks. We have family, but I never thought to ask them.
Yeah, our children have done those ones with the go tracks and that, but we haven't, so I can't really comment on.
Maybe somebody here has sailed on one.
Trying to make his appearance, climbing up.
He wants to say hi to everybody. He's getting kind of sad since he's going to be missing us for 2 weeks starting this coming week. Yeah, so he's getting all the time he can with us. So. And Scott, Koningsdam was fantastic. Best music at sea.
Oh. Wow.
Outstanding specialty restaurants, great service. Yeah.
They have really good specialty restaurants for sure.
And Chad and Matthew, great to hear. Thank you, Scott. I won't show with that one. And Richard's here. Better late than never. Richard is back with Suzanne. Hi,
Hello.
Richard. And Peter, have you had anything stolen on any of your cruises or on this ship? Never. Not a thing. And
Never.
We have, like, in the safe, we put our passports, wallets. We used to put our cell phones there before they made us carry them around. And but although like the vlogging gear, all that stuff, like we literally have
usually out charging on the counters.
Yeah, we have thousands of dollars of stuff sitting around the cabin constantly. We don't really hide anything, and nothing's ever gone missing. I even have often I forget to put my watches in the safe. So all of my watches, some of them are pretty expensive, that are sitting out in the cabin as well. We just leave things all over. We don't leave it all in the cabin. It's not a mess. We put it away, but it's not locked up or hidden.
Yeah,
we've never had a problem at all.
We've never had an issue.
And it's funny because we were talking about this just the other day, and I think it's, the crew are in a really dire situation in the sense that they know if they get accused or do anything wrong, they don't have a job anymore. There's no questions asked. There's no wrongful dismissal. They just dismiss them. So I think their vested interest is to make sure that our stuff is kept safe, and that they make sure that they help that stay the way it is. So we've never had a problem. So
not at all.
We've never even crossed our minds to be fearful of it, in fact. So and cash, usually like cold cash and stuff, we have locked up in the safe, that type of thing, or we have it with us.
Right.
So never been a problem. So hopefully it stays that way. So no credit back. They gave us our loyalty points. However, we did not have cruise line insurance. We had happy with their prompt response. Okay. So you did get something through the insurance. Good thing you had insurance. Yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting, because I thought the cruise lines were still doing something. So that's something to think about for sure. Yeah. And we've got Abby here. Princess. We cool if we were on the same ship as you guys.
Sorry. Wrong cruise line for us. Oh, well, you're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
With Princess for sure.
Which ship on Princess. Yeah, we're a little bit jealous. I would like to be on Princess as well. At this point, I'll take any cruise. It's been since August since I've been on a cruise.
Stop. You're whining.
I'm whining.
That's pretty good for most people.
Oh, there's the answer I was looking for. That's the other port.
San Pedro.
San Pedro is where Holland America goes out.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe Royal Caribbean goes there as well.
Oh, look. No, he says he's leaving out of San Diego.
Out of San Diego.
Yeah.
The city that smells like flowers.
Yeah.
At least when we were there.
Yeah, it really did.
I think it was March. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. But yeah, we love San Diego. We didn't get near enough time in San Diego, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Scott is on the Discovery Princess February.
Nice one. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. We're trying the Sky Princess early in the new year, so we're looking forward to that.
Right.
It's going to be exciting. And then I think we'll see. We haven't booked anything past July, which is odd for us. We're kind of waiting to see how things play out for work holidays and stuff. But yeah, we're hoping to be back on Princess at some point in 2023.
Well, we are on it.
Well, we are, but after one we have booked right now. Yeah. Peter wants to know if we've ever had to use the hospital on a cruise ship. We haven't.
We haven't, but this summer when we were traveling with some friends, one of our fellow travelers had to, and she had a very wonderful experience. She was treated well, promptly. They followed up, and she was very impressed with what the cost was that she had to pay for it. Anyway, she had nothing but good things to say about the ship doctor and the nurses on board and everything that played out. So yeah, fortunately, we've never had to use it on any of our cruises.
Nope.
But the one time that we can talk about it was a friend of ours did, and it worked really well for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And knock on wood, we don't need it.
Yeah.
My husband showed symptoms. This is from Dawn about the COVID experience. And I bought a test, positive. We started to show symptoms. We contacted medical, which is a responsible thing to do. So It's good for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's the thing. And even before COVID, that was always kind of a challenge where people were sick and they didn't stay in their cabin or didn't kind of do the right thing, right? You just kind of kept cruising in the good old days before COVID. And a lot of us got sick as a result of that, But, that's good done. Bad that it happened, but good that you did that and no one else was going to be impacted the same way.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on your first night dinner specialty restaurant? I got the feeling you were not very happy. So,
Richard, you're right. It was probably the worst specialty dining we've ever had.
Brazilian steakhouse, Moderno.
Right.
Is what it was.
And so what happened, and I think it was more particularly to the location where they had sat us, we had a beautiful table for two tucked away in the corner. And so we were sort of off to our side, which is very nice when you're having a nice romantic dinner for two. But what happened is with the Moderna, what they do is they come around with the big poles, what would you call them? The rotisserie
big spits of meat.
But they just sort of, we would see them coming out of the kitchen and they'd go to the main part of the restaurant and to the opposite side, and nobody ever brought us food. Yeah. And our waiters seemed to be missing in action most of the time. And so we had to ask to have water. We had to ask to have a glass of wine multiple times to get those things.
We even asked for some food.
We asked if they would send somebody over with food. So yeah, we left the restaurant and we still hadn't had, like, they show you a list of all the meats that will be coming out on the menu. Yeah. And there were 3 of those meats that never ever made it to our table. Yeah. And by the time we got any of the meat, the sides that they had already brought us were stone cold. So like one of the sides I had was mashed potatoes. I didn't eat them because they were ice cold by the time I got meat to go with them. The salad bar was wonderful. I loved the seafood on it, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was just a comedy of errors. Like, it felt like we were stuck in the corner and they forgot we were there. Yeah. And so it was very disappointing. It really was. And like I said, we had to ask 2 or 3 people to bring us food, bring us drinks, anything.
I have to go let him out. He's desperately wanting to go.
I'll
let him out. You talk. I'll turn you over to Dawn, and then Chad, I think, is talking to Dawn. I'll be back.
Sorry.
Bruno wants outside.
Bruno has been home alone for most of the day because we were at our daughter's house doing Christmas with her. So he needs a little attention tonight. Sorry. Hal said we could stay on board, but we would need to isolate until we test negative. Yeah, and that's no fun. That's not a vacation, right? So at least if you're home, you have your own space to spread out and you can do your own thing in your home for sure. Chad and Matthew, just curious. Would they let you stay isolated in the cabin that you booked or moved into an isolated section of the ship? Yeah, that's a good question because I've heard both depending on cruise lines. So maybe you can answer that for us. Oh yeah, thank you. Man, I've become a travels in UK and yeah, for sure. If you go there, you want to see all of the beautiful suite. They would let you isolate in your suite. Oh, well, that's nice that you were able to stay in your suite for sure. Jen. Last cruise was on the Bliss, which has the go-karts, but you didn't hear them unless you were right up watching them. So that's good. That's nice to know. They're electric, so no diesel sounds. Oh, thanks for answering that. Peter is asking, oh, Mr. Canuck's coming back. Peter's asking if there's any updates on the group cruise.
So, group cruise, no updates yet. I don't know, we still haven't even chosen a ship or figured it out. I'm thinking when we come back from California, we're just going to have to pick a ship, pick a date, and we'll go from there. That'll give everybody a full year at least.
Yeah.
So probably early 24.
And the one with Jerry sorry, I can't even get the word out, parasailing. So we sort of touched base that there's been a few medical issues. So Mr. Canuck ended up in the hospital last week and is having some tests done. And so until then, he really has been told that he shouldn't be doing any extreme sports or anything like that. So that might not happen. We were thinking we were going to do parasailing in Cabo San Lucas next week.
That was the plan.
But we might have to wait until our next cruise once we come back and we get all the test results. And
we'll see.
We'll see how he's doing.
We'll see how I'm feeling in Cabo.
Yeah. Anyways, I basically have been threatened with an inch of my life from my best friend that I wasn't allowed to make him go parasailing until the doctor cleared him. So
we'll see. If it doesn't happen on these 2 cruises, then hopefully it'll happen in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. So sure. We're on Princess. So we'll see. So it's not a no yet. It might even happen in a couple of weeks. We'll see. I'm feeling a lot better.
Yes. Yeah.
Have to leave now. See you later. Bye, Gary. Thanks for joining tonight. And JM coming on late. Which cruise line? I didn't see in the title. Thank you. Which cruise are we going on a cruise? I assume that it would be Carnival. Mm-hmm. We are on the Carnival Miracle, followed by the Carnival Panorama. Right. We really didn't talk much about that. So the Miracle, we have We're doing it again. The same thing we did in the Pride. We're doing the obstructed ocean view. Remember the cabin challenges we had?
That we had to move from?
We're going to try that again. So
we're on the other side of the ship, so hopefully it'll be fine.
And then on the panorama, we're doing something a little bit different. And we've done it before. We have never vlogged it. We're doing a spa room, but an interior spa on the Carnival Panorama.
We've never done an interior spa room. We've had balcony spa rooms before.
And that gives you full access to the spa. So we'll show you what the spa experience is like on Carnival and how it looks from an interior room. And Panorama is actually the second newest ship that we've ever been on. So we're really curious. We've never been on that class of Carnival ship. So it'll be kind of new to us. We've deliberately haven't watched any recent ship tours or anything about it. We had a little bit of a surprise. Yeah,
we watched a ship tour about it probably, well, when cruising wasn't happening, we watched a ship cruise because we booked this cruise when cruising wasn't back to going, when we were still all on the break of cruising. So we've had this itinerary and this ship booked a long time. So yeah, we're looking forward to checking it out.
And Chad and Matthew are wishing good results for me.
So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
Yep. But when you get those little scares in life, with health scares, it makes you appreciate everything you do and what makes you want to do more of it, right?
Like, which is why we travel the way we do, for sure.
Don't stay home. Get out there and do what you want to do while you can. Richard says, wants to know if you're going to do live on our upcoming cruise. So we will likely have little snippets of live, like 5 or 10 minutes sitting in a bar, possibly type stuff on Instagram. We'll have live updates as in pictures whenever we take them. We'll send them right away because we have internet. I don't think we'll do any YouTube live on the ships. The plan, though, is between cruises, December 23rd, which is a Friday evening at probably 7 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be 4 p.m. California. We will do a live then and catch everybody up at how our cruise is going. So if you're around, join us. If not, we'll record it. We'll figure it out.
All right.
That's the plan. And we got good news here.
Love the panorama.
We hope we do too. Like I said, we're really excited for this class of ship. We've looked at the Vista a long time, and Panorama is a Vista class ship, but we haven't been able to make it work, but we managed to get this one squeezed in.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we'll be Devote Carnival again. We seem to bounce around. Holland America, Princess, Norwegian. We've had such good experiences.
We have, for sure.
We must be respelling, are we?
Yeah.
Or he likes it twice as much now. So, we're all caught up in questions already.
Perfect.
It only took 42 minutes.
There you go. Yeah.
So, Norwegian vlog series. So, what you've seen so far is you've seen up to, sorry, I'm seeing questions come up. I'll just answer that one real fast because it ties into what we just talked about before we get too far. And Peter's just saying what time on the 23rd. We're looking at the same time that we usually do at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, that's like, I'm afraid to do the math. Midnight for
you, Peter, I believe.
Peter will be California midnight on the 23rd. So, and that's the plan right now. We'll put something out, hopefully somewhere that people will see it and get reminded of it as we're moving forward. So, yeah, the Norwegian vlogs, you've seen Florence was our latest one that came out yesterday. And then after Florence, we stopped in Cairns. That'll come out Wednesday. And then after that, we're in Palma, Mallorca. I think I got it. And then after that, we're going to have one from Barcelona, followed by Corsica. We loved Corsica. So if you definitely see that one when it comes out. And then we'll wrap that series up. And that'll be coming out when we're away on the Carnival cruise. But when we're on the Carnival cruise, you can get the live updates on Instagram. So YouTube for all the vlog stuff to catch up, and Instagram for the real life stuff that we're doing on the current cruises.
All right.
And then there'll be vlogs coming out after we get back for the Carnival.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot of thinking, a lot of editing I see in my future.
Yeah.
Regina Manor saying, take it easy, Jerry. Listen to your body. Jill needs her cruise buddy.
I do. You're right. Yeah.
But the problem is I have to be good right now. This is not Crown Royal. So I'm trying to get good enough until we get on the cruise that I can have a few drinks. So Mrs. Canuck may have to carry the weight of the drink package on this cruise. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Drink for two.
Drink
then I'll be the next one in the hospital.
You're going to have to try all the Crown.
Yeah, I don't think they have to worry about running out of Crown if it's me ordering.
I'll be having some drinks. We'll see. What can you do? Might as well enjoy it. Could you explain how the sanctuary works on Princess Caribbean?
Yeah, it's very confusing. That's what I will say. We're used to, pre-booking everything and having it all looked after and being there. So what happens when the Princess is you can't pre-book your sanctuary. So what literally happened when we got on the Princess was everybody that wanted to have a sanctuary spot They tried to get on the ship as soon as and as early as you possibly can, and they ran to the sanctuary. That's quite literally what we saw happening. People were getting on the ship as fast as they could so they can go to the sanctuary. And then once you actually get to the sanctuary, there's an attendant there, and you can then book whatever they have available at that point. So it's first come, first serve basis.
Yep.
And if there's people doing back-to-backs, then they can book prior to you getting on board. So you may, even if you're the very first person that they allow on the ship, there could be people there that have already booked it because they've been doing it back to back. So by the time we got up there to look at it, they didn't have any available in their enclosed area. They only had the outside surrounding areas there. But yeah, that's how it happens. So they have a daily rate. Well, they have a half day rate, they have a daily rate, and they have a weekly rate. So those are your three options. And depending on what type of lounger you're using depends on the cost too. So they have just like what we would consider a regular lounge padded, nice cushion chairs that are in the sanctuary, but not privately. There's no cabana around it or whatever. That's one set price. But if you actually want a cabana inside the sanctuary, that's quite a bit more. And the prices aren't really listed.
Yeah, it was really tough. We had to do a lot of research. Even we had a tough time finding it. Even when we asked the people working at the sanctuary, the staff there were pulling out pieces of paper and trying to explain it to us, and it wasn't as clear cut as other cruise lines.
Well, there was a couple of staff that were confused and didn't exactly know when we were asking, okay, so if we have these two chairs for this day, how much is that? And he was like, I don't know, I have to go ask someone else. And so then we did ask the manager later on when we were actually there in it, using it for the weekly rate. And again, it was dependent on which area of the sanctuary we booked. So it was a little confusing compared to Holland America, where you pick your spot, it's yours for the week, or you can just do it if you want a cabana for the day on Holland America, if they haven't already sold out prior to cruising. But I mean, for us, when we've done it with Holland America, we just pre-book once we book the cruise, and then we know we have it. You can't do that with Princess. They don't allow it. Anything to add to that?
Your voice is working good.
I got it out.
They got it all out.
Didn't crackle too much as
the
I said
sanctuary.
it all.
It's a little bit of a different experience than Holland America, in that you have staff working there, but they're not really kind of like the personal butler service they have in Holland America. Like, they'll run over the ship again. They did go over the ship and get us lunch, but there is kind of a set menu, and they kind of got what was on the menu for it. I think we may have asked for something extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it didn't have, like, at least as far as we saw, we weren't there the whole day, but it didn't have the free glass of champagne with the chocolate strawberries and the frozen grapes. And
no, but they do come around with afternoon snacks. Now, we didn't stay long enough for that, and I think they do an afternoon tea and stuff like that. That's all included in the cost. But we had wanted to go ashore the day that we were there, so we didn't stay for all that. But yeah, and so I mean, the plus side though, yeah, they don't go and do the drinks like they do on Holland America for you, but you have your app, and so like we ordered apps. We ordered drinks from our app, and it was delivered by a regular wait staff at the Lido pool, and came and was able to come into the sanctuary and give us our drinks. So that worked out fine.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All explained?
I think, unless there's any more.
Peter says, do you think it's only the Epic that's so special and good now, or is it the whole Norwegian line that's changed?
Well, what did we hear about the main menu? Remember?
Yeah. That when Norwegian bought out, now you're testing my memory, they bought out Oceania, or one of the premier lines they bought out, and the rumor was that they had taken the chefs and the
head.
Yeah, whoever plans the menus, and they helped rejuvenate Norwegian's main dining room menus and food on board. So that was the rumor. Mm-hmm. And it makes a bit of sense, but I, as far as back to what ship is it specific to this ship? I don't think so. The only reason that is because, first of all, we've got a Norwegian Dawn video that we have that people watch still years after the fact. And we're always getting comments on people on the Dawn saying how amazing it was. They loved it. So it sounds like the Dawn's doing well. Mm-hmm. We've also seen all the hype and news about the Prima that's already sailing now in North America.
everybody's loving.
Lots of good comments. A few comments on the minimalistic type of furniture and stuff, but I think that's a small thing. The passenger to space ratio on the ship is amazing. There's lots of room for people to get around. It's not packed tight.
Right.
So I think Norwegian is doing a few things. Now they are making some waves along the way with, they've been quite open about some increases in fares and prices, but they're kind of elevating themselves to that premier.
The service is I think they're trying to give a more quality service, a more premier cruise experience than what they had years ago. At least that's our experience. It was definitely felt like we were cruising a premier cruise line, like a Holland America. I would compare it. The service was just as good. The food was just as good as Holland America. And so I think they have made improvements, and that's why they've changed their pricing a little bit. What?
Well, I think where Norwegian was missing on the Epic was their lunch options, which has always been a problem I've had with Norwegian. Not a lot of options. It's kind of dining room is open or buffet.
They didn't have their dining room open at all for lunch because we didn't have any sea days, and generally their main dining room is only open for lunch on sea days.
But I think part of that's been solved with the Prima. They have this kind of food court area that has a lot of options for lunch. So they've kind of come in a big way to fill that gap. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, everybody's loving that food area that they have on the Prima for sure.
Abby is saying that it doesn't even sound like it's worth the stress in reference to the Princess Sanctuary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit of a rush to try to book it. And it is a quieter area of the ship, definitely. There's a nice pool, hot tub area.
It is beautiful once you get there. But you're right. I would prefer to be able to pre-book it.
Well, the secret is to do a back-to-back on Princess. Because if you're already on the ship, you can pre-book it for the next week if you're already there. But you can't book it until you're physically on the ship. So that's how some people get around it. Is they get on the ship, even if they don't get it for what they want the first week, they book it for the following week, and they can usually get whatever they want as far as space. Okay, you gotta choose your own loungers and stuff. It's very specific. So yeah, it's a value added thing. If you don't like the crowds, you want it quieter. No, it's not that noisy on a Princess ship.
No.
Excuse me. How long does it take for you to edit your vlog episodes, Tanya? So that is a me thing, I guess.
It is.
I would say, I just did one today. Started at about 8 in the morning. And didn't really get it finished until about 1 p.m. So there you go.
Yeah.
So we're talking 3 to 4 hours per vlog episode from scratch right to the final version.
Yeah.
That doesn't include upload time and adding all the stuff into YouTube to get it all there, but that's just the editing piece.
That's him getting the raw footage and getting it to something that he shows me before he uploads it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes a few hours to do it for sure.
Yeah. Quite a few.
After 35 days in Europe, I became very efficient at organizing all the files. We're talking terabytes of video data, as you can imagine. So having all that organized is really nice because I can just drop it in to the editor. I can then start working on it, and everything's right there. I don't have to go hunting for things. And we try to film chronologically and keep it flowing, so it's easier editing. So it's lots of fun. Like I said, as much as it's some work involved, the reward is huge as far as we get to feel like I'm reliving things. In fact, there's been a couple of times now, it's been a while since we were in the Mediterranean, that I'm editing the vlog. I didn't even remember that. I was watching it like I felt like for the first time, like, oh, that was, yeah. So yeah, it's hard to believe. So, and that's why we started doing this, because we started realizing we were starting to forget some of the stuff we were doing on these cruises. And it's nice to have
some of the trips blended in a bit. Yeah.
Tanya, I pray that your test results come back normal.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I guess the good thing, though,
the preliminary ones are coming back.
Yeah.
Good.
And the good thing is if you're being tested and checked out for stuff, then nothing's going to catch you by surprise. So catch things early if you can with health. That's the secret. And advocating with doctors is a part of it too. Yeah. Encore food was fabulous when we were on in 2021. So it's funny you bring up the Encore, because someone was commenting on the Epic and said they're fans of Norwegian but would never sail that ship. And I had asked them on YouTube what their favorite Norwegian ship of all time, because they'd been on Adem or something. And they said that it was the Encore. The Encore was their favorite ship. So so we've never, I don't even think I've much in the way of videos for the Encore to even know what it's like. I think it's somewhere in that breakaway, epic, getaway, kind of all around that size. And so yeah, that's good to hear that Dawn likes it. Yeah. So, but so yeah, so the Mediterranean stuff will be wrapping up soon. We'll eventually have a ship tour of the Epic as well. But it really was a shocking experience. I hope that's coming through between the videos we've done on Norwegian recently, as long with the vlogs themselves, that we were very pleasantly surprised. We had something that we did not expect at all. We were really, really surprised. In fact, it wasn't in comparison to Carnival. It was kind of in comparison to previous Norwegian cruises that we thought we're all there pretty good. We liked them. It was, there's no real bad experience there, but it wasn't what we felt for Holland America and Princess.
Right.
But we had our whole cruise world changed when we saw those videos. Saw those ports on that ship, and it was a different experience.
Had the experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good place to be. We're hoping we get that with Carnival, especially with the Panorama being a new ship for us. So yeah, that's the plan. So look at that. We've got all the questions through already tonight. Yeah. What else would you like to talk about? Oh, we should talk about, we've been raising a little bit about Florence. See what everyone thinks online here tonight, because a few people have commented on YouTube already. We could bring this up. We'll see what everybody thinks. But yeah, we were on a excursion, a long bus ride, 2 hours to Florence from Livorno at the port. And people, we had not assigned seating. We had chosen seats when we got on. We put our personal items there, your water, your whatever. For us, it's camera gear stuff. And Jill had bought a purse, of course. And she had stored it there. And we did Florence, came back to the bus after we were told, leave your stuff on board. The bus will be locked. Everything will be in your place.
We did have our camera gear with us.
Yeah,
but I had left a very large travel bag there and a few other different things, minor things there, paperwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we came back on after Florence, and we were very surprised to see someone sitting in our spot. And we were a little confused. We thought maybe they had the wrong seat. We kind of said, oh, that's our stuff there. And they didn't really say anything to us. They just kind of pretended we weren't standing beside them, asking them.
They just sort of stared away and ignored us. So for a moment there, we thought maybe they didn't speak English.
But they spoke English eventually. But but we didn't get our seat back, and we had to grab all our stuff, relocate back of the bus. So But it was kind of shocking. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't impact or ruin our Florence day by any means, but we were just kind of shocked about the etiquette. We thought, okay, this was our spot for the day, or things were there. It felt like a little bit of a violation of your
We've done a lot of tours and buses, and generally, and I mean, we had just done one a few days ago in Paris, a week prior to this maybe. And I mean, our seat, we had 4 or 5 stops on that one. Our seat was our seat the whole day. And I've never experienced that before, that midway through an excursion, I had to pack up everything. I had to reach into the pockets and get some receipts that I had tucked in there for the tax returns, all that kind of stuff. I had to, it was kind of weird. I'm reaching in front of this man's knees in order to get my paperwork that I had left in the pocket there. But it was a very strange experience. Yeah, so I think everybody else on the bus was equally puzzled by it.
It was kind of weird. We didn't expect that at all. But it wasn't like there was a cultural issue or a language issue. No, I believe they were from the United States, so North American like us. Yeah. So yeah. Brenda says, still think Norwegian prices are high compared to Holland America. Yeah, Holland America seems to be a bargain constantly, it feels like. And Norwegian, they have their prices have elevated. They've been raised, I guess is the right word. And since COVID, for sure. Yeah. But I think they're offsetting that with the quality of the cruise experience. But in saying that, they can't afford to go much past Holland America or Princess, because that'll be shitty.
They're not better than Holland America.
I think
I just think they are up to that level.
The new ship, the Prima, is pretty expensive. It's coming down next year when I've looked at it out of Galveston. But their older ships are a little more affordable. Like the Dawn out of Tampa has always been one of the cheaper cruises when I price them all out. So you have to kind of pick your spots. I think Norwegian also seems to keep their prices high, and then they drop them at the very end as they're trying to fill the ship up. So that's usually the best way to get a deal, has been our experience with Norwegian.
Right.
So question, do you like a ship with a covered pool if you have more sea days, or have you done transatlantic? Haven't done transatlantic. Have done ships with covered pools. Never in a cold climate.
No.
Our experience in a warm climate is that it's very hot, stuffy, and muggy.
Really too hot. Personally myself, I love the ones that have the roof that can open and close, because if you have it totally closed, it becomes almost like a sauna in there in a Caribbean cruise. So you need to have some airflow, but it's nice to be able to close it when it is a cold day. And so we've left a few times out of Florida, even California, when it's been pretty chilly and the roof has been closed. And then the next day, as you're in the Caribbean, you're able to open it up. So, but having it totally closed in, sometimes it can be unbearably hot in those pool areas.
Yeah. Just home from work, coming across your lives. Have to check out the replays. Sounds good, Brian. Yeah, we're getting close to the end. Peter says he's still Holland America, ma'am, but really have been curious about Norwegian.
Yeah.
I've been on for 5 years, and we were kind of the same way. We'd kind of given up on Norwegian, thinking we found cruises that were better, Holland America specifically.
Right.
Now we're like, maybe we need to try.
I don't think I'd be willing to pay more for a Norwegian. No. But I mean, if a Norwegian and a Holland America are the same price, then maybe as long as it's one of the newer ones, I'd be willing to do it for sure.
So Peter says he had a lot of money for Holland America, and I agree. Our first experience on Holland America, that was our takeaway. Was like, we can't believe we paid this much for this experience. We felt like we got a lot of value.
Quality was there for sure.
Yep. It was one of our best cruises ever, and we didn't pay a lot. In fact, when we priced it out that year, we went on it because it was the cheapest cruise we could find of all things.
That's right.
Yeah. We had an amazing experience.
Is the big thing, because we want to get on as many ships as we can. So cost is the factor there.
Someone, or Reggie and her man, are asking if they would like Holland America after doing Norwegian. They probably enjoy into a pool for transatlantic. So yeah. I think if you've done Norwegian, you definitely would see quality in Holland America.
Yeah, for sure.
Same classy interior design, the ships. Norwegian stepped up their game as far as service and entertainment. Right. Yeah, a little bit different entertainment in Holland America, but not so specific on the music as Holland America is. But
I think also Holland America has bigger cabin sizes compared to most of Norwegian ones. So that was a big plus for me when we first started cruising Holland America. The size of the bathrooms were very welcome bonus for me. That sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And Julie and Brian just did the Prima. Nice ship. I see how it can get expensive though. Yeah. And that's the only downside is, are you willing to pay for the extra value that Norwegian's offering, especially on the new ships? So, and transatlantic, only used the pool one afternoon, disappointed.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we've never done a transatlantic, so we're not sure how that works yet. We've always wondered, is the weather cooler? Do you get to use the outside part of the boat as much? Is it kind of like Alaska? I guess the time of year you do it is a big factor. I'm not sure. And the last question will go to Reggie and her man. Jerry loves the Dutch Cafe.
He does.
Jerry's supposed to be eating really healthy foods. So it's a good thing that Jerry does not get to go on.
He's not going on a New Stondom or a Rotterdam, so you're not tempted with the Dutch Cafe.
The next time I see the Dutch Cafe, it'll be July, and I'll be super healthy.
Super healthy.
My shirt will be off. It'll be ripped. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that's where I'm at in July. So Chad Matthews say have a good night. Safe travels, California. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
I think we'll call it there. And thanks for joining us, everybody. And if we don't talk to you on the 23rd, then wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Yes. Have a great holidays, everybody.
And we're going to be over on Instagram, probably doing more stuff than we usually do, simply because that's the easiest way for us to post stuff on the cruise.
While we're traveling.
And I didn't put that in here, but our Instagram, I think, is cruising_Canucks. So if you search for it, you'll find it eventually. And thanks all of you. And we'll be missing you in the time we're gone. Hopefully we can make that 23rd work on December, touch base. And if not, we'll be back in the new year after 2 new cruises. So we're excited. Take care, and bye for now, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.